One of the most anticipated sneakers of 2024 is finally here. The release date of the shoe has been thrown around a little bit, and the name of the shoe might have changed, maybe not. The box does not match what it says on sneakers. Whatever it is, regardless, it is finally here. Air Jordan 4 Military or Industrial Blue. The shoe is dropping on May 4th for $215 in the United States. You can get it on sneakers, Nike.com. The release date has changed a few different times, but May 4th officially it is dropping. Now the Jordan 4 Military Blue, or now Industrial Blue, it came out originally in 1989 for a price of $100, so very expensive back then, and then it retroed in 2006 as well as 2012. Both those versions had the Jumpman on the back. People were not happy. They reverted, they heard the customer, and finally, they came back with Nike Air branding on the back, and there's been a bit of confusion with the name change this year. So originally, this is obviously the Jordan 4 Military Blue. On sneakers right now, it's still Industrial Blue, so I think they want to detach themselves from the word military, especially in 2024, with everything going on around in the world. So I believe they're officially naming it Industrial Blue, but the box still has Military Blue on it, and there's been some talks about how the shade of blue is kind of different to what people expected. I don't have a 1989 pair in hand, so I can't do like a side-by-side comparison. But from images at least, I feel like it's pretty close to the 89 version. I feel like the past few retros actually have been lighter than it should have been. So I feel like the shade is pretty spot on. Now fun fact, this Military Blue OG colorway was not always like a favorite. I believe in the past few retros, it actually sat for a bit, but it was never like as popular as it is right now. And first impressions of this shoe, come on. Come on. Jordan 4 is just so pretty, so pretty. And this blue and off-white combination, that gray also just tops it all off. It is such a beautiful shoe. And the OG part of it obviously makes it a bit more significant. OG colorways just have a bit more meaning to it. But objectively, it is so nice, so pretty. Military, Industrial Blue, whatever it is just absolutely delicious. Delicious looking shoe. And out of these two, which one would I prefer? I know some people didn't like the material change on the Bread Reimagined, but as a black sneaker lover, this colorway just, this colorway is great. Just so great. It's close, but I gotta go with this one. And the leather on this shoe, it is super soft. Super soft. It's not the thickest type of leather, but it's just good to touch. It feels very similar to the Pine Green SBs. And it's not actually white on the upper of the shoe. It's officially off-white, so it's not like that pearly type of white, but it feels good. You can see that kind of shinier polyurethane coating come through quite a bit. Personally, I do prefer when that's kind of more subdued and not as obvious. I like to see the texture, the wrinkles, and the grain of the leather come through a bit more, but it is soft, it is nice. And the nubuck on the mudguard, that is pretty standard. It feels pretty decent as well. Of course, the most distinct thing about the Jordan 4 is the wings and the eyelets. It's kind of wider than the rest of the upper, so it got more like a less off-white tone to it. It's still not like actually white, so it's all very subtle, and you can see there's plenty of ventilation for the Jordan 4. That was a big point of emphasis for Tinker Hatfield when he originally designed this shoe. And the lacing system is super unique as well. Depending on the fit, you can kind of put the laces through different eyelets. You can either go super snug or kind of a looser fit. The laces are kind of in this off-white color as well. It's kind of like a dull white, if you can imagine that. Very nice, just so pretty. And then of course, moving on to the tongue, you get that Jumpman Flight logo. The Jordan 4 was the first shoe to introduce Flight. And then inside the tongue, you'll see an upside down Air Jordan tag, and that began on the Jordan 4s as well. And if you didn't know why they did that, back in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, people would flip their tongues like inside out. So they anticipated it, they made it upside down, so when people did this, it'll be the right side up. And moving on to the back of the shoe, just one of the prettiest booties. It is Nike Air branding. Now in 2006 and 2012, came with the Jumpman logo instead. People were not happy with this. Glad they reverted to the Nike Air branding for an OG colorway. And the tab itself, this is slightly bouncier than like a lot of general release Jordan 4s that we've seen recently. Not as soft as the Pine Greens like this. Like look at this. That is just super flexible, super soft. This one is more similar to the Bread Reimagined, so it's kind of in between the Pine Greens and like a general release where it's slightly more stiffer. And I think this actually strikes the best balance. Now the Jordan 4s does come with a polyurethane midsole with a visible Nike Air unit on the heel of course, as well as a Nike Air unit on the forefoot. And thank God, they didn't do any reimagining to this. It is just white on the midsole. Just so beautiful. There's no stupid sail. Didn't need sail on the shoe. They didn't shove it in there on such a nice OG colorway. And then of course herringbone traction on the rubber outsole. Another very beautiful outsole. Jordan 3 still came with that concentric circle pattern. The cutout over here is very similar. Again, Nike branding, not Jordan branding, because it is an OG colorway. And that blue is just so pretty. So pretty. So this is probably the biggest miss on this shoe. They came with Dream style insoles. The Bred Reimagined came with polyurethane insoles, and you can feel the difference in hand. One just kind of molds to your feet the longer you wear it. It's hard to put into words, but like side by side, you can feel the difference. The shoe also comes with a Nike Air hang tag, similar to the Bred Reimagined, but different color, of course. Box of the shoe, Jordan 4 Flight box. And again, the Flight concept was originally introduced on the Jordan 4s. Now in terms of sizing and comfort, for a wide footer like myself, a wide and flat footer like myself, there's no real perfect solution for Jordan 4s. It is a pretty stiff and tight shoe around the toe box. With this shoe, however, the shape was more similar to like the SB Pine Greens or like the Bred Reimagined, and those were more comfortable compared to like the general release Jordan 4s we've seen lately. It's not as like boxy and pointy, so slightly more slimmed down, but maybe a little bit wider in the toes. I think if you're a wide or flat footer, you could get away with going true to size for this shoe. It's actually definitely not as stiff around the arch as like the Midnight Navies. I remember getting that on a restock on like a sneakers session last year, or this is 2022. And when I got those shoes, this bit over here just absolutely destroyed my arches, or lack of arches. I went up half a size for that shoe as well, and that stiffness and the width of that shoe just destroyed my wide feet. But for this shoe, I think you could get away with going true to size. But in terms of like overall comfort, Pine Greens are very comfortable. The Bred Reimagined were pretty comfortable, especially compared to other general release Jordan 4s. This one, I feel like it's not as comfortable as those two. I think the insole, or lack of a good insole on the shoe, makes a difference, but still better than like the Midnight Navy 4s. But this one, I can definitely see myself wearing it like all day, no big problems. Still not as comfortable as like the Jordan 3s or like 5s, 13s, 14s. But overall, relatively speaking, for a Jordan 4, it's not the best, but it's not bad. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 4 Military Blue, or Industrial Blue, to 34 out of 40. A very high score compared to other general releases. Now in terms of colorway, it's perfect. It is just honestly perfect. That shade of blue, usually I like UNC blue, but if it's anything other than that, I do like a darker type of blue, and this just hits all the right spots, like on the booty as well with the white Nike branding. Oh, it is nice. No complaints. Just no complaints from me. This is such a nice colorway. Now in terms of the materials, pretty satisfied as well. The leather is very soft. Not the thickest type of leather, but it is soft, so it's also easy to break in. And in terms of the comfort of this Jordan 4, I don't think it's as comfortable as the Pine Greens or the Bred Reimagined, but I think it's right below that in terms of a Jordan 4. Definitely better than a ton that have released over the past 2 years, like the Midnight Navies, the Thunders, the Arma Manere Jordan 4s. Those are just like torture on your pinky toe, especially for wide footers. The comfort of this is actually okay. And in terms of the versatility of this shoe, look at it. Just look at it. Jordan 4s are so different, but still so wearable. Just really has crossed over into the mainstream. No longer just a basketball looking shoe. Such a wearable shoe. And in terms of the wearability of the colorway, oh, you can't go wrong. For all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a white sneaker, even though it's off-white. And with that blue, all very standard colors on this silhouette. Versatile wearable. Wear this with anything, you're gonna look great. You're gonna look great. After the peak of Jordan 1 popularity, the Jordan 4s are definitely the most popular Jordan shoe right now. And with the Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined coming out earlier this year, I'm actually really glad they didn't reimagine this. Just gave it to us as close to the OG specs as possible. And with all the flack that Jordan brand gets sometimes, with all the very passionate sneaker fans, I think for this release, they really did a good job. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 4 Military or Industrial Blue. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.